Assalamualaikum and hi kids! Teacher Suhaila here. So let's continue our lesson with the title Photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? It is a process where plants make their own food using carbon dioxide, water and sunlight with the presence of chlorophyll. What is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is the green pigments in leaves. And what does chlorophyll do? Besides giving the plants its green color, chlorophyll has a very important function. It is to absorb sunlight. So without chlorophyll, plants will not have its green color and it will not be able to do the process of photosynthesis. So let's see the diagram that shows the process of photosynthesis. Okay, now plants will absorb sunlight using chlorophyll. And then it will also absorb carbon dioxide from the air, and the roots will absorb water from the ground. With these three important substances and with the help of chlorophyll, plants can do the process of photosynthesis. And the product of photosynthesis is oxygen and starch or glucose. So let's look at the summary of the photosynthesis process. Okay, so plants need sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, and also chlorophyll to do photosynthesis. And the products of photosynthesis are oxygen and glucose or starch. Do plants really need water to do the process of photosynthesis? How can we prove it? Yes, we can do an experiment to prove that plants need water to do photosynthesis. We take two plants of the same type, plant X and plant Y. Plant X, we water it every day for 7 days, while plant Y, we did not water it for 7 days. Let's see what happens. Yes, after 7 days, plant Y has wilt, but plant X is still fresh. Now, let's try to answer these three questions. You can pause this video and think before you answer. Are you ready now, class? So the manipulative variable or MV for this experiment is actually what we have changed between these two plants. You remember that plant X was watered for 7 days while plant Y did not get any water at all. So the MV for this experiment is the presence of water. And the responding variable for this experiment is actually what we are trying to see about these two plants. So the answer is the condition of the plants after 7 days. And the fixed variables are actually the things that we have to keep the same to make this experiment reliable and fair. So the answers are the type of plants, and we can also keep the same the place of experiment, the size of the pots, the amount of sunlight. And what about the color of the pots? Do we have to keep the color of the pots the same too? No, because why? It is because the color of the pots does not have any effect on the plants. Okay? So what about these three questions? You can pause this video and think before you answer. So now are you ready? So for observation, in your answer, you just have to tell what you see. What happens to plant X and plant Y? Don't forget to compare and mention both plants in your answer. So the answer is, after 7 days, plant X is still fresh, while plant Y has wilt. And the inference or reason is because plant X got water, while plant Y did not. And the conclusion for this experiment is you just have to tell what you have learned from this experiment. So the answer is plants need water to do photosynthesis or to stay alive. We have proven that plants need water to do photosynthesis. What about carbon dioxide? Let's look at another experiment to prove that plants need carbon dioxide too to do photosynthesis. Okay, let's take plant A and plant B. Plant A is placed outside while plant B is placed inside a clear glass jar. A clear glass jar means that this plant B, will get sunlight but will not get any carbon dioxide from the outside. Okay, and inside the clear glass jar, we also put calcium hydroxide. What is calcium hydroxide? What is the function of calcium hydroxide? Calcium hydroxide absorbs carbon dioxide. So this means that plant A will get all the carbon dioxide it needs, but plant B will not get any carbon dioxide during this experiment. Now let's look at these questions. Are you ready now, class? So the manipulative variable for this experiment is the presence of carbon dioxide, because plant A got all the carbon dioxide it needs while plant B did not get any carbon dioxide during this experiment. And the responding variable is the condition of the plants after 7 days. And the fixed variables are the type of plants, the amount of water, the size of the pots, and the place of experiment. Okay, please remember that for fixed variable, you can choose only one of these answers. Okay? What about these 3 questions? Alright, the answer is what we can observe from this experiment. Please remember to compare what you see between plant A and plant B. So the answer is after 1 week or after 7 days, plant A is still fresh while plant B has wilt. And the inference or reasons? It is because plant A got carbon dioxide while plant B did not get carbon dioxide. And the conclusion is what we can learn from this experiment is plants need carbon dioxide to stay alive or to do photosynthesis. Now let's prove that plants also need sunlight to do photosynthesis. Okay, let's do another experiment. Okay, we use 2 plants of the same type, plant P and plant Q. Plant P is placed outside while plant Q is placed inside a black box. A black box means that plant Q cannot get any sunlight. So the manipulative variable or MV for this experiment is the presence of sunlight, because plant P got sunlight while plant Q did not get any sunlight. Okay, and the responding variable is the condition of the plants after 7 days. And the fixed variables are the type of plants, the place of experiment, the size of the pots, and the amount of water. You can choose any of these answers for fixed variable, okay? So for observation, compare what happens to both plant P and Q. And you cannot see anything that happens to both plants in the diagram, but you can see from the table that it has stated here that plant P, the leaves still green, while plant Q, the leaves has turned yellow. So our observation here is after 7 days, the leaves of plant P is still green while the leaves of plant Q has turned yellow. And the inference or reason is because plant P got sunlight while plant Q did not. And the conclusion or what we have learned from this experiment is plants need sunlight to do photosynthesis or to stay alive. That's all for today, class. Thank you.